What do you have to say? Very important.
It's your brother. I just heard good dog, baby girl. Can somebody say spider for me? Spider. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, tell me then.
I have vibrations all my life from the graduation. Brought my night to the altercation. Drop my ties to the altercation. Y'all lies and indoctrination. Brought my mind to the conversation. One time I don't want to play with fuck y'all lies. I don't want to aim. Let's walk my mind. Let the knowledge break. I'm top tick spine. I don't get complacent. All my life I visit greatness. Left, right to the fire, make it.
And we're back. This is Ever Yearning TV. You're watching Ever Yearning Paranormal. And today we're talking about spirit boxes. Now, if I were to hold these both up in front of you, a normal person wouldn't be able to tell me the difference. There's only about two key differences that make a AM/FM radio different than a spirit box, such as the SB7. Look, the only difference between this and this is this one is meant to go through every channel very quickly and pick up every bit of sound that it can pick up. This one is meant to pick up individual channels and stay there and play only the sound you want to hear. Okay, so full disclaimer before I go any further, I think that if you don't know how an EMF reader works and how an EVP recorder works, you might be a little lost in this video. And I've done both of those videos, and they're not very long. They're on my channel on the same playlist as this video. I would suggest go back, watch those videos real quick, then come back here. Otherwise, you're going to be a little bit lost. All right, let's move on. So if we take a second to think like Nicola told us to, then we know there are things that we cannot see that do exist on a different spectrum. There are things that we cannot hear that do exist on a different spectrum. And if we have something sensitive enough to record or pick these up, we would be able to play them back, hear them, and see them. The basic idea of the spirit box, you have an AM/FM radio that has been modified to sweep through channels constantly instead of picking up one channel and focusing in on that channel. It's picking up all of the static, all of the white noise, all of the audio fragments, and it's blasting it out to you for you to hear. Now in the middle of this, a spirit, which remember would give off an electromagnetic field and would also most likely be operating within a sound spectrum that we would not be able to pick up, would be able to manipulate this channel sweeping in some sort of way that I don't even know if I could describe accurately, where they're able to return it into a communication of a word or sometimes a phrase or even a sentence. What do you think the chances are that my first and last name is being broadcasted somewhere on a radio station? I mean, I'm not famous, at least yet. I'm not famous, so there's no way. How do you think a radio station is going to have a recording, let's say, of my brother's voice, saying only something that he would say in a private area with my dog? Okay? How would you be able to explain something saying my channel name, something that I had said when I was walking into the investigation? These are things that if somebody was to sit down and try to do the statistics on, it would be like 1 in 100,000, yada, yada, yada. It would be a very small percentage versus a very big number. So when we're talking about credibility, I would say that when you get a response and it sounds like something that is directly in line with what you're asking, it's more likely to be a direct communication than just pure chance or pareidolia. So let's move on to pareidolia. ParanormalAuthority.com says one of the biggest criticisms facing the modern day spirit box is the fact that humans are creatures of habit that like to look for patterns or commonalities in anything we do. We also like to make sense of abstract things and convert them into things that we recognize. This is the case for the phenomenon known as pareidolia. No, not pareidolia. Not with a spirit box. Webster says pareidolia is the tendency to perceive a specific, often meaningful image in a random or ambiguous visual pattern. The correct terminology would be apophenia, the tendency to perceive a connection or meaningful pattern between unrelated or random things. Quotations such as objects or ideas. Ideas meaning like sounds coming out of a spirit box AM/FM radio. Yes, it is a possibility for somebody who doesn't know what they're supposed to be listening for to fall victim to apophenia. The way to combat that is to run tests in your conversation when you're using your spirit box. Try to only look for answers that have absolute credibility, and then see if you can get that repeat answer. I ran a credibility test that I posted on YouTube. I'll put the link up here, where I went back to the same spot that I had gone almost a year before, and I asked the same questions and got generally the same answers. And again, adding to credibility of the spirit box. The best way for a paranormal investigator to correctly combat the apophenia issue is by only accepting the most credible responses regarding the conversation upon trying to attempt to contact an entity or spirit from the other side. So in essence, these two are basically the same thing. It's just one is constantly sweeping through channels. It's designed that way. A spirit's able to manipulate it in a way that I don't know how to explain. Science can't quite explain. It's just one of those things that makes paranormal science one of those fields that needs to be dived into a lot deeper. That's about it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down at the bottom of the video. I'll always reply and leave you a like. If I like the comment, I'll pin it at the top of the comment section. I'm an artist. I go by I the Poet. I've got a new single coming out June 13th on all music platforms, especially things like Spotify and Pandora. So be looking out for that. Y'all have a great day. Happy nightmares.
Vibrations all my life from the graduation. Brought my night to the altercation. Drop my ties to the altar. Take a buck, y'all lies and indoctrination. Brought my mind to the conversation. Drop my time into one to play with. Fuck y'all lies and I'm one to aim. Let's walk my mind, let the knowledge break them top.